Hello, folks. My name is Danny, and welcome to Log Cabin Media Extras. It's been a while. Today I'm doing something a little bit different. I'm doing a news reaction discussion thing. I'm trying to relaunch the channel and make it a bit more active because I want to branch out beyond the Minecraft channel that I run, but that's not why you're here. You're here because there's been some Star Wars news of a sorts that apparently, according to Forbes, who is citing a so-called insider who runs a Twitter account and a Patreon page with backstage insider information, that discussions are still being had anyway, the first confirmation in quite a while, for a potential season 2 for the Obi-Wan Kenobi TV series. I'm sure as Star Wars fans we all remember this from 2022. Look, I'm a child of the prequels. I grew up watching the Clone Wars week to week when I was in middle school. So for me, it was very exciting to see my generation of Star Wars back in live action. And if nothing else, that is my takeaway from the series. There doesn't appear to be any word on what season 2 would be about. Realistically, I imagine the best course of action would be to make an amended adaptation of the John Jackson Miller novel that came out in 2013. It was one of the last Legends novels, and it's one of the few Legends novels I've read because as I said, I was in middle school when the new canon came about, so I wasn't really reading Star Wars novels at the time. But Kenobi is one of the ones that when they launched the Essential Legends collection that I did sit down and read, and it's fantastic. I highly recommend it to any Star Wars fan to read. It's a phenomenal book. So what would I want to see from season 2 of Obi-Wan Kenobi? There's certain storylines you could tell. You could include Darth Maul if you wanted to, sort of deal with him hunting down Kenobi. We've never seen the fall of Darth Maul's empire. He sort of just fizzled out at some point between the Solo film and Star Wars Rebels, so we've never seen the downfall of his gangster empire, Red Sun. So that I feel like that's an important story that's worth telling, and that would be something you could do to push the story forward. Again, as I mentioned, to do a modified adaptation of the John Jackson Miller novel, you could either be really funny and make season 2 a prequel to season 1 and mirror the fact that Star Wars likes to do original trilogy, prequel trilogy, then sequel, which seems to be the vibe of Lucasfilm, because if you look at the original trilogy of Indiana Jones films, Temple of Doom is a prequel to Raiders, and then Last Crusade is a sequel to Raiders. So it seems to just be how the Lucasfilm company thinks. It's in their blood. So I think to push the narrative forward, which is probably what they want to do more so than doing a prequel that adapts the Kenobi novel, is do a modified version of that with Obi-Wan just on Tatooine, working with Qui-Gon Jinn. If you could book Liam Neeson to record an episode or two, it and you don't even need to leave Tatooine per se. You could if you wanted to. I wouldn't. I would hold off on that for a hypothetical third season. Like if you were to do a season 3, that could be the one where you uh, set up the Darth Maul hunting Obi-Wan because his gang empire has collapsed and he's going after Kenobi for revenge. And it one thing that I like as an idea, this is just a me thing. I know that it's definitely a very unpopular opinion, would be to uh, have Obi-Wan give Leia some Jedi training before she goes off to the Imperial Senate. Like, you've already had her meet Obi-Wan in person. Um, in season 1, because I don't believe they, off the top of my head, I don't think they actually interact in A New Hope, now that I think about it. I could be wrong, but I think that would be a nice story. It would also perhaps, in my opinion, add some credence to her believing Luke about them being siblings, and the line in Return of the Jedi about my father had it, I have it, my sister has it in regards to the Force would be like, oh, okay, if she got some Force training from Obi-Wan before joining the Imperial Senate, that would be something to do. And that could even be like an inciting incident for, uh, you know, Bail Organa going to Tatooine for no real reason with his family to find Obi-Wan, and that could set off an alarm bell for Darth Maul. And you could do some hand-wavy Force nonsense for why Darth Maul can sense the great power of Anakin's children, but Darth Vader and the Empire can't, or the Emperor can't, for whatever reason. I don't know. These are just some thoughts. So yeah, what do y'all think about season 2 of Obi-Wan Kenobi happening? Maybe, possibly. You never know. Maybe it will. Maybe it won't. I'd like to see it again. This is my generation of Star Wars that I grew up with and I love. And getting to see more of Ewan McGregor and Hayden Christensen as Obi-Wan and Anakin would be fun. Of course, the two ideas I put forth, I have no idea how Hayden Christensen would be involved, unless if you were to do some nightmare sequences, which could be interesting. Just go ham on the idea of uh, Obi-Wan and Anakin dueling in the world between worlds for a few seconds, just for, laughs, more or less, just because it would look cool. Fundamentally, remember the fact that this is Star Wars, and the driving philosophy behind it is that it's made for 12-year-olds, which is not a bad thing. That's a great thing. Connect with your inner child and other hippy-dippy nonsense. That's really it. That's all I got. Yeah, maybe there's a season 2. Let's see. Talk to me below. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.